Welcome to the Rosbergs, your marriage coaches. Join Dr. Gary and Barbie Rosberg, America's family coaches, who bring 4 decades of empowering marriages across the U.S. and internationally for this podcast to equip you and your partner with encouragement and tools for a great marriage. Here now are your hosts, Dr. Gary and Barbie Rosberg.
We want to welcome you to the Rosbergs, Your Marriage Coaches. And Barbie, this program is all about helping guys like me learn how to honor our wives. It's about the importance of honoring your wife.
Absolutely. It reminds me of an email we got a number of years ago. We have a recent one, but we're going to hold on that just for a moment. But one we got a couple of years ago told of a man in Dallas, Texas, and he had come home at night. Do you remember this?
I do.
And there was this beautiful platter and silver tureen. And he was thinking, man, what is underneath
Fancy
this
schmancy.
for dinner? Yeah. And so his wife went over and she pulled open the top, and there it was. Sitting in the middle of the plate was this book, Connecting with Your Wife. And
by Barbara Rosberg.
yes, but what is so fun is that what marriage doesn't need to have a little bit of tarnish polished off? I mean, what marriage doesn't need a little bit more sparkle? Now, I know diamonds are a girl's best friend, but I'm talking about the way you seek to learn to understand your wife and to learn more about what does she need and what makes her tick and what makes her be ticked off. So we are going to open up with an email. And so let's listen to what we got a couple of weeks ago.
Hello, Barb. I'm reading your book from Lifelines, Connecting with Your Wife. Although I've learned these things over time and I continue to work on them each day, it's so helpful to have reminders from this book. I'm reading a chapter each morning during my devotion time, and then I try to practice that chapter with Sheila during the day. The reminders in these chapters help me keep the proper focus of connecting with Sheila. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
That's awesome, Barbie.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
I have to tell one more story. Recently, a local gal, was probably like 18 months ago around Christmas. She texted me about 6 months early and she said, could I please buy 10 copies of Connecting with Your Wife? Apparently, she was going to have a couple friends over for Christmas, and she was going to tuck Connecting with Your Wife in every single Christmas stocking to the couple. Isn't that fun?
It is.
And so we're always grateful for those of you that want to grow in your marriage and that are teachable. And especially today is a time when we want to encourage you men in how to understand more fully the complexities or seeming complexities of your wife.
Well, Barbie, I want you to know I even wore a pink sweater for this program because I want to know how to best connect to you and how to best honor you, how to best cherish you. And you wrote about it in your book, Connecting with Your Wife. And those emails both kind of typify that. And they give us kind of the experience of what do we need to do in order to connect with our wife and honor her. But you know what, Barbie, honoring is deep. Honoring, every wife, doesn't every wife want to know that she's deeply honored?
Every woman needs to know that she's honored because she is valuable. If you are a woman and listening, you are the daughter of the King of Kings. You have been created by the Almighty Himself. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are valuable. You are truly beautiful in the eyes of God. And I think once you access that love from our Father God, that you can look in the mirror and tell yourself, I love you. I love you because you're me and you love what God has created in you. And you know, Gary, every woman needs to know that her husband honors her and sees her in the way in which God sees her.
So, Barb, we're going to bring this down, not dumb it down, but bring it down with some specifics so that guys say, okay, Rosbergs, what do I do?
How do I do it?
Yeah, how do I do it? How do I exercise this? Because I want my wife to be deeply esteemed and deeply encouraged and have her know that I'm a one-woman man and that I am honoring her and really intending to do that because it takes a lot of intentionality. So, Barbie, I think part of it is all around the issue of appreciation. Mm-hmm. When a man is appreciating his wife, he is honoring her.
Yeah, her husband.
Yeah, and I think part of that means that we as guys need to reflect, and I'm going to give you these examples, and I want you to respond to them, that we respect your opinions, we respect your decisions. So when I show you that I respect what you're doing, what you're thinking, does that show honor? And how does that show honor?
Oh, being the woman that I am, and also the only expert of being a woman between these two tops that are both pink. And I would like to answer your question, and it's honor and respect is spelled many different ways. It is the way you're looking into my eyes. Mm-hmm. It's the way he's giving me undivided attention. It's the way you don't have a phone in your hand right now that you're looking at, and you're willing to give me a lot of quality time for me to take time to unpack my ideas. And oftentimes, I will process those ideas at a different rate than a man. I might take more time. I might audibilize or speak out loud a lot more, but I am processing those ideas and coming to a conclusion as I say them out loud. What's that require of a man? To respect a woman's different style, to honor time and give her the time to unpack it, to not rush her. So, Gary, yes, it is. It is one of the many ways that I know I'm honored.
I think if I'm respecting your opinions, that's showing you that I honor you. But part of that is to validate what you're doing. Because it's the opposite. If I invalidate what you're doing, you don't feel honored. So, guys, we need to learn when you validate what your wife is doing, her opinions, what her choices are, then she experiences that sense of honor and respect and love. And you know what? I would imagine it makes her want to draw closer to her husband.
I'd like to unpack that with you, Gary, because many times what a husband doesn't realize is that he's discovering possible wounds from her father. Mm-hmm. Maybe her father didn't sit and listen to her.
That's good.
Maybe her father didn't honor her. Maybe her father, or it could have been a former husband or someone else in her life that didn't treat her with tenderness and love and value. And so when a husband offers time and attention and wants to discover her opinion and then repeat it back and validate, as you said, her thinking process. What you're doing is you could be not only discovering a wound that needs to heal, but you could be helping her by healing that wound as her husband and bringing her more into her inner beauty and her purpose so that she'll thrive and not just survive, in your marriage and as your wife. So,
Barbie, when a husband acknowledges the contribution of the wife, does that reflect honoring?
It's one of the ways.
Yeah.
But for a woman, we need to hear it very specifically.
Okay.
For instance, I love the way you are with our grandchildren. I love the way you mother our son. I know this is hard for you. Our daughter is going through a difficult time, but I love the way you're spending time with her and seeking out ways to reach her. Do you see how specific I am?
Yeah.
And it's very important to a woman if you say, I'm proud of you. Well, most women will say, for what?
Yeah.
Be specific, because we want to know, what have we done well?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where we feel fulfilled, is as we do it, as we do it in silence or when nobody else is around. It might be as mundane as just doing laundry or keeping the home beautifully and clean. But when somebody else recognizes that you do it, I mean, even making the bed, I really make a good bed.
You do make a good bed.
And so, I mean...
And you weren't even in the Marines.
No, I wasn't. But my dad
Your
was.
dad was.
Yeah.
I just wanted to set that up.
I know you set it up. I had a good dad. But you know what? You can be a good husband. You can be a good dad.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a good friend. Do you hear how many ways that you can step into the connection circle with your wife and bring out the best in your wife? Because we want you to understand your wife, but it takes time to listen, time to try to understand. If you don't understand, you might even say, tell me more.
Yeah.
Or think about another level of question so that she can help you understand. She doesn't have to see things the same way that you see things. Boy, wouldn't that be boring to have two people that see things exactly the same way? Yeah. I mean, earlier today, we saw something and we saw it differently. And I had such a sense of relief when I said to Gary, I think we can agree that we see this differently and that I'm not going to change my perspective. And I don't think you're going to change yours either. But it was showing respect and honor that we can be different.
So a guy honors his wife when he respects her opinions and choices. He honors his wife when he acknowledges her contributions. And this is all good stuff in connecting with your wife that Barbie wrote. How about when he gives her compliments?
That's pretty good, but it's cracking me up how you're pulling up my book every minute. It's what they used to have those ads on TV, that were going round and around and around. Compliments.
Yeah.
Now, there are actually women that are very, very uncomfortable with compliments. And I
must strike some insecurity or something.
Or the way you were raised, or it's just not your way. And maybe you are more service oriented. I've heard women say, I don't need all the words. There are times I'm in a lot of different places and different classes, and I will go up to my instructor afterwards and say, thank you. You did a great job and I'm being specific. And some of my instructors will say, oh, thank you, because they're not used to it. And others will deflect it. They're not comfortable for some reason. And so what that is incumbent upon me is find a different way to encourage or compliment without having to use words. Now, for you, your wife is totally about compliments. I like it when you notice I've done something different or that I love compliments as long as they're authentic.
Yeah.
And by the way, your wife is your expert. I am not your expert. Your wife is the expert of your marriage. In fact, tonight you might want to sit down in two chairs and enjoy one another's company and say, do you need compliments from me?
Mm-hmm.
And if she says yes, then even bring out areas. Would you love compliments in the way that you serve our family, the way that you keep our home so clean? Would you like compliments in the way that you're always on time? That will never happen in our marriage. Would you like compliments in the way that I discover you in prayer or seeking God on matters? Do you like it when I tell you I love your hair and that you are so looking good? But figure this out with your wife because she's your expert. And if it's not in compliments, then ask her, what do you like?
Well, I think we're going to find some of these because you write about it. Respect her opinions and choices, acknowledge her contributions, give her compliments. And then, Barbie, you say, listen attentively.
Yeah.
Listen attentively.
Yeah.
Coach us up on that.
Well, there are some couples that Gary and I work with one-on-one. And in some of those sessions that we have the privilege of working with, we will learn that women have not had the opportunity to unpack their heart with their husband because their husband has been drifting off and distracted by his career or other things that compete with focusing on her thoughts, her needs, her desire. And so when I'm feeling very tentative about unpacking this, but when we sit and we hear for the first time that a woman is discouraged because she hasn't had her husband's full attention, or he hasn't given her that daily time she can look forward to unpack. It's really a time to wise up, because if she doesn't unpack it with you, you need to ask yourself then, who is she unpacking it with? A woman is wired very emotionally. We are all wired to connect. And if we don't get it in our marriage, we might connect elsewhere. It might be more exclusively with our children, or it might be with another family member, or for a girlfriend, or for someone at the office. Always be mindful that your wife, even though she might be very logical, needs to connect, and make sure you're giving her that intentional time.
So she needs to be listened to attentively. You also say that it's honoring when a husband shows genuine interest in her life.
Yeah.
So how is that unique?
Key word, authentic.
Authentic.
Genuine.
Yeah.
Caring.
Yeah. Other-centered.
Other-centered.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah.
What are you feeling? What emotion are you experiencing right now? What have you thought about this situation lately that you shared with me in recent weeks? It's tuning in. Did you notice my tone of voice? How it went lower and I connected more quietly? Your wife needs to know you've got plenty of time for her. And that emotional connection will draw her out. And Gary, it frees all of us, especially me, when you take that time to unpack with me. I release my burdens safely, carefully. And I know you will never discuss with anyone my weaknesses, my frailties, my sensitivities, my requests before the Lord.
So when you do share them, I need to hold those close to my heart.
Confidentiality and the authenticity. I'm coming back to it.
Yeah.
When you, her husband, you're authentic with her, she knows. And if you're being authentic with her, authentic calls out authentic. I think that's a very important word.
You know, you also write in connecting with your wife about encouraging our wives in pursuing her dreams. Is that important?
It's very important. And I don't care what age or stage you're at, you need to have dreams. And if your wife doesn't have dreams, then I think it's time for you as a man to ask yourself, why? Is there something unintentionally you have blocked her from? Is she living out all of her dreams? I mean, is this the, what do they call it, panacea? Is this it? Is this she's living the dream? Or is there more? And even the more within the day. We've done a lot of things in our career. We've done so many. And the most important thing in my life are my marriage, our children, and our grandchildren. I mean, that's it, folks. That's all of my heart. And the rest of it, well, it was really great. But the eternal of marriage and family, just for me. But I still need daily dreams. I mean, how many of your wives keep daily lists? It's more than just check off and, run the dry cleaning to the store or look for a brand new stove, or it's more than that. Those are very important things that keep the mechanics of our homes going. But what are her dreams? Is she capturing a dream each day, or one that could lead to a dream? Maybe some of your wives want to go back to school, or they want something that is complementary with working in the home. The bottom line is talk through these things so there's not a collision of priority, but it complements. Your wife needs you to dream with her and to listen to her.
Barbie, we're sitting here in our podcast studio, and 20 feet that way is your art studio. That's a big part of who you are as an artist. You dream, you love to create, you love to go into your art studio. It's the most unique art studio I've ever seen, because you're the artist and it's unique to who you are. And you could have 10 other artists walk in and go, well, I wouldn't do my art studio this way, because that's not who they are. I mean, you are creative in there. I go 15 feet this way and it's your Pilates studio. And, we had that built out, and it's got the what's the deal? The Reformer?
Well, it's a ballet bar and all the things on the wall.
But I mean, that's a big part of your life.
Yeah, it's good.
And
I'm
you're
taking
crushing
care of
it.
myself.
You're
That's
crushing
right.
it.
That's right.
And then I look over on this wall and I see pastels that our kids drew when they were, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old? Am I in the right age?
Yeah, you
span?
really are. It's perfect.
Yeah, I wasn't always around during that time. I was studying, and that's part of our story. But, this is your visions. It's your dreams.
Okay, honey. I was.
You were, and I am now. I got the medal.
That's part of our story, too.
Medal.
Yeah.
But I look around at how, and I think that's what women do. Their home kind of reflects who they are.
It's a mirror of
It's a mirror. And it's unique. And it should be unique because it's your life.
Yeah.
And so your dreams, your visions, and me helping you fulfill those is a big part of my desire at this stage of life. But this program's not about me. It's about honoring our wife. How about this one? Offering practical help. Does that help honor a wife?
Oh, yeah,
Did
Gary.
you write about it?
Oh, yeah. I am about you vacuuming.
Vacuuming, yeah.
I love it.
Barb thinks it's sexy when I
think
vacuum.
It's so darn sexy, you know, and it's just so like, wow, it's so manly.
So sometimes I plug it in.
It's so manly. And
if she's not in the room and I just kind of turn on the engine, I don't even
till I get in
I don't
there.
even move the thing.
Yeah.
But she thinks it's sexy.
I think any kind of help around the home. And I do want to brag on you, Gary, filling the car up with gas. I haven't had to fill the car up with gas in over a year. And yesterday I called him on the phone. I said, Gary, I'm running out of gas. What's the number? How do I know what number to use on this car? And he told me, and he was so sweet. And so our granddaughter, our 15-year-old granddaughter, was in the car with me, and she got out. And I just wanted to put that credit card in, wham, bam, and be done. And she had to slow me down and show me how to read the screen and to walk through it very, specifically. And I cracked up and I thought, I am one pampered woman, because truly, Gary, you've learned the art of stepping into your wife's world.
Yeah, just practical stuff.
Your wife's home. It is my home that I create for the entire family.
Yeah.
And you meet me in the places nobody else sees you.
Yeah.
And you serve me. And by the way, it makes me very, very happy. And as they say, happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
So,
Ellen.
but that is true. But as a wife experiences the joy that she doesn't have to go it alone, that her husband is with her. It's the come away with me. And let's vacuum this house together. Come away with me, and I will wash and dry your dishes. Come away with me.
She's meddling.
And I will use
Barbie's gone to meddling
on those kitchen counters.
How about being a source of strength? Barbie, does that honor a woman when her husband is a source of strength?
Yeah, very much. I am reminded of times when I have gotten a difficult word from the doctor. And as Gary becomes more strong, then I'm able to express what I'm feeling or thinking or fears. And we've come through every single one of them, but especially during times of need, when you are strong.
Yeah.
Because it allows me to be okay to be weak. I like very much to be strong. I'm very comfortable and confident in being strong. I don't like being weak. I don't think any of us do. And yet we really need our husband's strength when we go through things as families.
You write, Barbie, about how important it is when a man is honoring his wife for him to be reliable. Mm-hmm. Talk about reliability.
Just do what you say you're going to do. And I love how you refer to Psalm 15. Mm-hmm. It's a man that
keeps his oath,
even when it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
So, you might even, I've heard you say, if you're going to be home by 6:30, be home by 6:15. But it's truly being reliable. Mm-hmm. If you said you're going to do something, and if your wife is depending upon it, do you understand how much you're hurting her when you don't follow through? Mm-hmm. Do you understand the disappointment that can lead to a crushed spirit if it's repetitive? And if I'm speaking to you today, then I ask that this awakens your spirit and alerts you to the importance of you needing to change and keeping your word even if it hurts.
Barbie, when a man wants to honor his wife and he zeroes in on being physically and emotionally present, does that reflect honoring?
It's the best thing in the world. Your wife should never have to go it alone. And so much of a woman's world, she's a master. She reminds me, so back in the day, Ed Sullivan, when there would be I don't know if this guy was from Romania or Europe somewhere, and he would put on a plate on a stick and he'd spin the plate. And then he'd put another plate on and he'd spin the plate, and he'd do maybe 3 or 4 where he was spinning 4 plates on sticks, and then he'd run and he'd unstraighten and he'd make sure they were all doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Your wife is spinning plates all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And so when she knows she has to do so much alone, and she's strong and she needs to be independent, but interdependently dependent on Christ and interdependent on you, really dependent on Christ. But the reality is when she knows she's not going it alone, you're physically with her
and emotionally
connected and supporting. And the biggest thing in friendship for a woman is to have a supportive friend. And as we think about friendship, even the differences between men and women, men just kind of want a guy to hang out with, which is fine. That's the way God created you. But for us women, we need support. We need emotionally connective, supportive girlfriends, but most importantly, our husband, because this is where I think it really counts.
Can you take another one?
One last one, please.
Okay. Does it honor a wife when husband reflects and shows affection and tenderness?
I think it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Let your wife be your expert. How does she define affection and expression of it? I mean, if she loves it, then go after it. Go after it. But if she's more quiet or reserved, then you need to build up the safety and the trust and allow her to tell you how she loves the expression of affection and tenderness. Always tenderness. Always tenderness. You married a woman. Treat the woman as this tender, beautiful, beautiful wife that you have.
And nurture it.
And nurture her. Yeah.
So Barbie writes about this.
Oh, no, not again.
Connecting with your wife, Lifelines. Gary Smalley, who's in heaven, our dear friend, wrote Connecting with Your Husband. They didn't ask me to write it. I'm always kind of hurt when I reflect on that.
We have a number of other books.
Yeah, but Barbie did this one solo, and it's a great read.
You know what's really fun? I think it's every wife approved. You've heard of Better Homes and Gardens? Well, this is every wife approved. Yeah, I think the gold standard. I think she'll read it and go, yeah, this is great. So if you're interested, you can find them on Amazon. Is that right?
Yeah. Check it out.
Doesn't matter.
Yep. And that might encourage you.
Yeah, now, but write us.
Yeah. And this might also just stir some questions that you have. And we want you to know you can call 1-855-ROSBERG, ROSBERG. And we've got a line that you could leave your questions on, and we may entertain them in a future podcast. We also want you to download these podcasts. We want you to rank them. If they're encouraging you, if they're ministering to you, give us 5 stars. Good night. So we'll ask for that, and make comments on them and share them with other people. There's even a place to donate on that page when you're looking at your podcast. And so we'd love to have you be a partner with us as we do this together and impact families. And so we're so grateful for you. This is a team effort. You know, Barb, it's you and me. It's Mike Segovia and his team, and they do a great job. Mm-hmm. And we're so grateful for them. And in fact, they even gave me this cool cup, PFC, audio video right there. And so it's a cup that when I drink out of it, I often think about and pray for our team that's all working behind the scenes in order to help us put on these podcasts. So we're grateful for them as well. So Barbie and I, we're going to bid you adieu. We look forward to seeing you the next time. I probably won't have on a pink sweater. I did that for the Honoring Your Wife program, but and you gave it to me. And real men can wear pink.
I know, and I love the shirt that I picked out for you.
You know, Barb,
Very nice combination today, folks. I dress him, I buy it, I dress him, and then I affirm him and compliment him.
yeah, it's crazy.
And it wasn't even about you today.
No,
but by golly, you are looking good.
The other day, one of our daughters said, I've got a gathering. She leads like a little Girl Scout troop or a Brownie troop and some kind of a troop.
Little Flowers
troop. And she said, Mom, can you come and participate? And then I said, well, I'll drive you over. And I brought my computer because they're going to show a video.
But she needed you as technical supervisor.
Well, and I had on this pink sweater. And then they ran out of hodgepodge or something, some kind of a glue. Mod Podge. So they sent me to the dollar store. I didn't tell you this. So I go into the dollar store to get this, this glue stuff. Mod Podge.
And some ribbons.
Yeah. And there a whole group of kids comes in. The girls and these guys, and they're all in high school. They're all awkward as can be. And this guy's in the next aisle, and this girl says, you ought to get that. And he goes, pink? I'm not wearing pink. And I came around the corner and just kind of flexed my chest and my muscles. And the guy looked at me and he goes, well, not everybody should not have to wear pink. I mean, it's not. And I said, hey, you're fine. But someday you'll grow into this and you'll be able to wear pink. And we were kind of laughing.
Confident men wear pink.
And they honor their wife.
And they also want to connect to their wives. And don't forget, it's all wife approved.
Yeah, all wife approved.
Hey, thanks for listening. We appreciate you.
We'll see you next time on the Rosbergs, your marriage coaches.
Hey listeners, make sure to stay up to date with the Rosbergs by subscribing to their show, Your Marriage Coaches, on any major podcast platform such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you will get an alert each time a new episode is released. Whatever platform you're listening on, please rate the podcast and leave us a review.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Rosbergs, Your Marriage Coaches, with Dr. Gary and Barbie Rosberg. To find out more, go to americasfamilycoaches.com. Once you're there, you can check out the many resources that they have available. From their many books to their informative video series, 6 Secrets to a Lasting Love, they've got all the tools you need to help you grow deeper in your relationship with your spouse and with God. Go to americasfamilycoaches.com and click on the Resources tab. Also, if you have a marriage question, you can call 855-ROSBERG and leave a message with your question. We may use your question on a future episode. We appreciate your prayers and support for this ministry. Find out how you can come alongside us when you go to americasfamilycoaches.com. Just search the top of the index for the Donate tab. Thank you for listening in today. Be sure to join us next time for another episode of The Rosbergs, Your Marriage Coaches, with Gary and Barbie Rosberg.
Marriage, it can be challenging, it can be stressful, and it can be absolutely wonderful. If you and your spouse want to strengthen and enhance your marriage, Dr. Gary and Barbie Rosberg can help through a new video series, 6 Secrets to a Lasting Love. A strong and healthy marriage isn't just about feelings or emotions. It is truly 6 specific and intentional kinds of love. The Rosbergs offer this brand new study looking at the biblical loves and principles of a great marriage experience. This video series and accompanying workbook is rich with discussion and group questions designed for couples in one-on-one marriage coaching or in a small group study. Find out more at americasfamilycoaches.com.